So imagine the brachial plexus to be very much like a tree. Just like a tree, starting from its core, it will have the roots, moving forward, the trunk. Later on, it will have its divisions, which continues as the cords, which further may continue as terminal branches or simply as cords. The roots of the brachial plexus are the legit cores of the brachial plexus. The nerves arising from the spinal cord itself. It involves C5, C6, C7, C8, and lastly the T1, that is the first thoracic nerve. Once again, it involves the last four cervical nerves and the first thoracic nerve. Moving towards the trunk, the C5 and C6 nerve roots will fuse and form the upper trunk. The C7 continues itself as the middle trunk, and C8 and T1 fuse to form the lower trunk. Moving forward, it will again divide into their respective anterior and posterior divisions. The anterior divisions of the upper trunk and the middle trunk together will form the lateral cord. The anterior division of the lower trunk continues to form the medial cord, and the posterior divisions of all the three trunks will form the posterior cord. So finally we have the three cords, that is the lateral cord, the medial cord, and the posterior cord. Talking about the branches and the termination, or rather the continuation of the lateral cord first. The lateral cord first gives out the lateral cord, or you can say the lateral root of median nerve. The lateral cord further continues itself as the musculocutaneous nerve. Another smaller branch is given into the region of the thorax, that is the lateral pectoral nerve. Talking about the medial cord now, it gives out a small branch, that is the medial pectoral nerve. Two other small branches, that is the medial cutaneous nerve of arm and medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. Further, a large branch is given, that is the medial cord of median nerve, which fuses with the lateral cord of median nerve to form the median nerve. This was the musculocutaneous nerve. It itself continues forth as the ulnar nerve. Lastly, talking about the posterior cord, we have two small nerves, that is the upper and lower subscapular nerve. One long nerve, which is the nerve to latissimus dorsi, a short axillary nerve, and its continuation, that is the radial nerve. Two other nerves, namely the nerve to subclavius or the subclavian nerve and the suprascapular nerve, arises from the upper trunk. Notice how there are 6 nerves at the upper trunk. This junction of 6 nerves is termed as the Erb's point. Excluding from the brachial plexus, there are three specific nerves. First, let's talk about the nerve formed from the roots of C5, C6, and C7, which is the long thoracic nerve. or you can say nerve to serratus anterior. Emerging from the root valley of C5, we have the dorsal scapular nerve. Emerging from the roots of C4 and partly from C5, we have the phrenic nerve. Speaking of C4, a unique interaction does occur in the brachial plexus. In some percentage of the population, the brachial plexus shifts its position by 1. It may shift upwards, that is, now the brachial plexus involves C4, C5, C6, C7 and C8, but does not involve T1. Following criteria, if matched, is termed a prefixed brachial plexus. Simultaneously, in certain population, T2 might be present and C5 might be absent. Hence now the brachial plexus involved is C6, C7, C8, T1 and T2. This forms the post-fixed brachial plexus.